Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida. Your college football Saturday continues with a great showdown here on EA Sports. It's the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Florida State Seminoles. Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer with you. Holly Rose down on the sidelines. We check in with her now.
When you enter Doak Campbell Stadium, you have to walk past the statue of Bobby Bowden first. This is sacred territory in college football. The fans know it. When they get chanting and the horse gets running, you know this is one of the most special places in all of college football. Can't wait to see how the Seminoles bounce back this season here at the Doak. Back to you.
Holly, thank you. This ought to be a tremendous matchup. The Seminoles will put boot to leather, and this will be the start of a new season. Bringing it out. Tackled and brought down right at... Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida. Another season of EA Sports college football kicking off here in Week 0. It's the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Florida State Seminoles. Along with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Holly Rowe is down on the sideline.
Well, guys, checking in with Cincinnati's head coach. He is concerned going to an environment like this, one of the best crowds in all of college football. They make it loud and frenetic. He has talked to his quarterback and his center about having a high level of communication here on the road. Back to you.
Thank you, Holly. Really looking forward to this matchup. So Cincinnati's kicker headed to the football to start this 2026 season. And the opening kickoff sails out of bounds. Maybe a little bit of nerves and hopefully not an omen for the way this season's going to go. The transfer has it its first carry. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Let's take a second here to talk about Florida State. Every team needs those big dudes up front, and man, they got a mauler from the high school recruiting ranks. Big four-star D lineman. David, what's his adjustment going to be like?
Well, you see the excitement from the fan base and the reaction. It's all over the place, and you understand why. Because just being able to have that size at that position, play the defensive line, is so important for these college teams. He'll fit right in.
Wants to throw. It's Daniels. Snags it over the middle.
I'll tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands. You saw it on that last play.
They'll need 3 yards here on 3rd down to keep this opening drive alive. They'll try to get the first through the air. Unloads to the wideout. And he can't grab the bullet pass on 3rd down.
Sometimes it takes quarterbacks a few plays to really get into the rhythm of the game and not force things. I think the quarterback that time was really trying to force the ball to his wide receiver, but against man coverage, there were other guys on that play that were open that could have had a chance. So this quarterback just needs to settle down a little bit. He won't be throwing as many incompletions if he just lets the coverage tell him where to go with the ball.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Takes a handoff. It's Perry. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play. Guys, let's chat a minute about Cincinnati. The only important expectations are the ones inside the program. But when you start the season on the outside of the rankings looking in, it can give you a little bit of an edge, can't it?
Yeah, they want to prove to everybody they should have been ranked coming into this year. These players are angry. They feel like they're being disrespected, and they want to make a point to the entire college football world with a big win today.
And you hear it all off season, and you see it every year. The teams come out of nowhere, and they feel like they've got a lot of potential, a lot of high-ranked players on the squad, and they're going to put it together, and that they'll get themselves into those rankings.
He's got him. There he goes. All the way out to the 43-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds, and this offense is on the move.
And those aren't the guys I'm leaving open on defense. These slot wide receivers, they've got the space in the middle of the field to work. I got to make sure that I got somebody inside of him. I got somebody outside of him. I can't give him the football because a lot of times these guys, they're good with it after the catch. They got that quickness. They got that speed, and he showed some of it there.
They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
What a great play by the linebacker. Did you talk about filling a hole? Defensive line does their jobs. He comes in the hole and says, sit down, sir.
Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. That's reeled in. It's Grover. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think for that play to work, you need to have some access and cushion coverage for the receiver to be able to do something with it after the catch. That time, the defender was just way too close, all over him. He tackles him for no gain.
Dropping back, it's French. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down. And the Bearcats decide to punt it away. A low-line drive and not his best work. And he is knocked down immediately after the catch. That punt coverage team had its hair on fire. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. They went 3 and out on their first possession. Now to see if they can be more productive this time around. Give to the back. Surged ahead for a couple there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A lot of times you see these defenses, man, they pull the run blitzes. They understand the formations. It might be a run, play the percentages, and then you got to deal with the big defensive tackle inside. So more bodies near the line of scrimmage. Everybody's got to pick him up, but they didn't block the most important guy, the big fella right in the middle.
second down, he'll throw it. It's complete on the right side. Still on his feet at the 45. He's loose. Inside the... And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Seminoles.
That's a nice job by the offense there in their second drive. I know in the opening possession you go 3 and out, you're scratching your head. That didn't obviously go the way you wanted to, but a good job of sort of collecting yourselves, going through the next couple play calls, and making sure everybody's back on the same page. We saw this offense, David, on this drive really be in sync and finally find the rhythm.
You got to like the answers, right? Like sometimes you come out, sometimes you're situated and you're ready to rock and roll, and it comes out hot. Sometimes it doesn't, but I like the response. Their defense does their job, gets them the football back. They come out, execute. Nice job getting on the scoreboard.
Cincinnati brings its offense onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Gonna run it. It's Perry. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27.
Coach is always hard about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Dropping back, it's French. Picked off, what a play to set him up. Takes it the other way. Touchdown, Florida State. And they turn it into a defensive score.
And the defense sets the tone early in this football game. We're still in the first quarter, and this is looking like they're putting a complete game together. Offense scoring, defense scoring. Palmer, they're up 2 touchdowns already.
Yeah, you got to give this coaching staff credit. They have their guys ready to go, and this is what you call firing on all cylinders early in a game.
And he's going to bring this one out. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. The Bearcats offense out there to go on the attack. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, the defense blitzed on that last run, but it was the big fella on the inside that made the stop and made the play. Great job flying out of his stance, locating where the football was, and getting to the ball carrier. Really good job at the point of attack.
To the air on 2nd down. Hauls it in. All the way out to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 15.
Okay, here's the bad news. They're down by a lot of points really early in this game in the first quarter. The good news is there's a lot of football left. The better news, they finally get a big play through the air. That's the kind of play that can spark some confidence and completely turn this thing around. They got to keep that up.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. On the ground, it's Perry. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Really nice penetration by this defense, getting in there immediately, causing the running back to have to go a direction he doesn't want to go. And this defense has started the game so good. Several drives, no points allowed, and setting the tone on this drive.
They're bringing the chop. They're bringing the noise on 3rd down at the dope. Back to throw, it's French. It's on target and complete. He is not going to get there. Stopped short of the line to gain, and it'll be 4th down. And the Bearcats line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Well, what that punt lacked in height, it made up for by being short. And they'll down this punt just inside the 40-yard line. Florida State comes out ready to put something together on this drive. They put 2 touchdowns on the board in the early going, and now right back to work. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will.
I think there's a couple of schools of thought in how you run the football and how you throw the football. Like some people say, I run the football to set up the throw, right? To get people aggressive. But this offense kind of took it the other direction, right? They came out throwing the football, now soften them up. Now let's see if they can start to get that ground game going.
Looking to fire. Throws to the wideout. Grabbed over the middle. It's Robinson. Just gashing this defense. A big gainer to the 40-yard line. The Noles come to the line on the heels of that big pass play. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. He uncorks a laser deep down the middle. It would have been a high-level play, but it's a play this quarterback expects to be able to make when he has a guy open.
Man, these quarterbacks start practicing and doing 7-on-7 and having quarterback coaches when they're like 7 years old, 8, 9 years old now. So even when they don't have wide open wide receivers, you still expect them to fit that ball in there and make it happen.
The give to the running back from the shotgun. Picks up the first down. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
It's just not easy to bring this guy down, is it? He is so dangerous once he gets the ball in his hands. And it makes me think back to old great seminal running backs like Warwick Dunn, Travis Minor, a guy that I used to play against. How about Dalvin Cook even? Just guys that could make the first guy miss, and then they were able to just explode and burst and take it the distance. This guy right here, he is a unique talent.
Line getting set on second down. That's the end of the quarter, and Florida State has the lead. As we take a look at the stats, things are a little one-sided so far. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Trying play action. Now moving to his right, looking for anyone that's open. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And that's why you always want to be pursuing the football. QB scrambling, he rolls out to the right, but don't quit if you're on defense. Get somebody after the QB. They got to him, they hit him, and forced the incompletion.
Third and short from the 22. Is the field goal unit getting ready, or is this already 4-down territory? Looking for a man. It's Daniels. Rushes on him. And he left that one short. Tried to baby it in there. He's got to turn it loose.
Oof, you got to be careful if you're the quarterback there. Third down, you know, you see a lot of exotic coverages by the defense. That time they played zone, and he tried to force that football into a real tiny window. He's lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Oh, that one will leave a mark. No good. Missed the field goal, but still a 2-touchdown lead at 14. The Bearcats offense heads out to get things started on this drive. They've taken a couple of punches to the jaw, and now they'll try to get this offense going down a couple of touchdowns. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Perry. He gets nothing, and they keep plowing ahead with the running game, and they've got very little to show for it. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Here's the pressure. Complete to the right. And he got enough for the first down, but somebody put the hit stick upside his head.
Every drive is obviously important, but now that you've dug yourself a hole, this offense They need to score here. Like, before the half, they need to move this ball down the field. Nice job in the passing game. Got to put a few together. Need to get some points to cut into this lead right before the half.
And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made. The Bearcats with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Off the play fake. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
This pass rush is serious, man. When you watch them on film, they do a nice job in the back end, taking away all the throws downfield. He's trying to get to his check down, but that pressure, it gets to him, and the hit forced the incomplete.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. They'll try to bully their way for the first. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and what a big 3rd down stop by this defense.
I just think such a big part of this offense is being physical and establishing the run game. They haven't had a lot of success offensively early in this one, and that's why right there. They're not able to get this guy going yet. That's got to change as this game goes on.
Hauls it in, looking for space. Makes a move. There he goes. Open it up. Touchdown, Florida State. Special teams proving to be special.
Hey, kick it to him at your own will, man, because that dude has a jetpack. He can absolutely fly. You see why they got him back deep, man. Catch it, let people kind of get an angle on him, and he just goes and takes off, erases angles. His speed back there as a punt returner, man, is it dangerous.
He'll bring it out. It's Payne. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Here comes the Cincinnati offense back on the field. They've fallen into this big hole, and they are pretty desperate for answers right now. Gonna run it. It's Perry. Finds his way ahead for 3 out to the 16.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
To the air, it's French. Pulls it in, it's Gibson. Makes the catch and he's free. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. So the offense will decline that penalty after the big play. Line gets set, 1st down. Goes to the option. Welcome to college. First carry for the freshman. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain.
This offense is just like Novocaine. Like, it's just give it time. It just keeps working. It's a slow death, right? Like, they continue to just chip away. Nice 1st down play. Nice read. Get it to the pitch man. Sets up a great 2nd down opportunity.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Unloads it left. He just missed the target on that one. Gotta put it on his body. How aggressive might this play call be on 3rd and short from the 46? They'll try to run for it. There's some room. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be 1st down.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease. He puts his foot in the ground, and he gets north fast.
This offense has had trouble getting it in gear, but maybe a little life here on 1st and 10. To the air, it's French. Snagged out of the air. And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain.
This slot receiver is a guy the defense has to be careful of. He runs good routes. He's got some speed, and if you're not careful, this guy can gash you.
Short pickup of 4 on 1st down, dealing with a 2nd and 6. Looking to fire. Here's a heat. A strike downfield.
You never want to say it's over early. I mean, we're here early in the game, but considering what the scoreboard is saying, they absolutely had to have that play for them to stay in this football game. And sometimes it just takes one great throw and one great catch to wake you up. They need to score a touchdown on this drive. They need to score another touchdown on their next drive, but maybe that's the play that turns things around for them.
The run inside. It's Johnson. Turning it on. He'll be pulled down after a good run. They'll mark it at the 15. The Bearcats are threatening in the red zone. Back to pass on 2nd down. It's complete to the left. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Gets it into the end zone, but there's a flag down. We'll see if this one is coming back. So that penalty will wipe away some strong red zone execution and take the score off the board. Now on 2nd down. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Dropping back, it's French. Caught over the middle, it's Grover. He'll be stopped, but not before he carries it down to the 9-yard line, and that's why you get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. The Bearcats have it with a 1st and goal. He's looking to throw. Stepping to the right. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Back to pass. Unleashes to the end zone. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Man, really good job on this defense, staying positive. They gave up a bunch of yards, got down towards the shadow of their own goal line. 2 straight passes, 2 incompletions, trying to just get off the field here with only giving up 3 points.
Now 3rd and goal and tough yardage to cover here. From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire. And he will wisely throw it to the kid playing the tuba.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
Now, the offense is still out there. They're taking a gamble here. They could come up empty by passing on the field goal here on 4th down. Looking to pass. It's French. Lets it fly. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. Desperately wanted to keep the ball, but they did not.
That just could not have gone any worse for the offense, guys. Not only are you dropping the ball on 4th down, you dropped a touchdown. That should be 6 on the board. You need players to step up and make plays in those types of situations. That's the kind of play that could lose you this game.
Handoff from the gun. Finds some fresh air. He needed that extra space as he bangs his way to the 14.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Wants to fire on second down. Got a man. It's Wiles. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs. And the Noles will hustle to the line. Looking to throw on first down. It's complete to the right. Makes the grab in their space. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 41 after the good game there. And the Seminoles will have it first and 10. Motion from the wideout. Looking to throw on first down. Makes the grab. Breaks into the open. Down to the 26-yard line before they ride him out of bounds, and this defense is on its heels.
Well, they have a massive lead, and we're only in the second quarter, but they're not calling the dogs off. They are staying aggressive, and they are taking shots. Another hookup there for this offense. Everything that they are dialing up is working to perfection. They're looking to add already to their blowout lead.
Still from the pocket, fires over the middle. Touchdown, Noles! Got it right in the heart of the end zone.
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders, defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
And the extra point makes it 28-0. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish the deal with a 26-yard touchdown pass. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. We'll see them really hit the speed button on the tempo here in the final minute of the first half. Looking to throw, it's French. Fires to the wideout. Catch in the middle, it's Henry. He stopped at the 32. It'll be a first down in the waning seconds of the half. The Bearcats used the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. Wants to throw it again. Makes the grab. It's Gibson.
It's definitely the wide receiver's job to create space, right? So whether you're running a go or you're running a hitch like this right here, I got to find a way to push off legally or just create a little bit of space to get some positive.
He's taking the shot. Upstairs to make the catch. And he scores! Touchdown, Cincinnati!
And that's exactly what the offense needed right there. A touchdown here, and I know it's taken a while. They hadn't had a lot of success up until that moment. Late in the second quarter, they finally were able to punch one in the end zone, and that's going to give them some confidence now to take into the locker room here shortly at halftime, but they've got to play much better in the second half.
Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And the score comes courtesy of the big play covering 61 yards on the touchdown pass. And a special teams miscue as the kickoff goes out of bounds. So the decision has been made and the coach will take the penalty. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Looking downfield on first down. Fires one high and deep. Makes the grab at the 10. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Seminoles.
This offense looks like they're in a rhythm. Whatever they've been dialing up here in the first half, they've had a lot of success with. You saw it on that last drive here at the end of the second quarter. Scoring a touchdown, they're going to be difficult to stop in the second half, and the defense needs to start making adjustments.
And the kick is good, but there is a penalty flag because he paid for making that kick. I think they're going to get him for roughing the kicker. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks so much, fellas. Here inside our EA Sports Studios, welcome into the Week 0 College Football Update Show. We begin with Georgia taking on the number 5 team, the Indiana Hoosiers. And it's the Bulldogs getting a banner day from their stars on the road. To pick up victories away from home, that's the mark of a focused team, pushing them to 1-0 on the short season. Here now some other games you may have interest in, and social media has some sharp opinions about the state of things right now.
They'll move the wide receiver. Keeping it on the ground to open the second half.
Well, this defense knew coming into this one, if they could stop the run, it was going to be really, really hard on the offense. And I just love the tenacity they're playing with right now. This front 7 are flying around, getting to the ball carrier. This running back has had nowhere to go to.
8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and short. Running inside, it's Johnson. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
And that's a good second down run. Commit to the running game, run the football. Great gain, great job by the offensive line. Keep it rolling.
Offense has it at the 28 on first down. They'll try the left side. Tackled after a short gain. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Looking to throw, it's French. Quick strike complete. Oh, he's got some space. And what a huge chunk play for this offense. Just exactly what you need to move the ball down the field. And the Bearcats are moving quickly down the field.
Wilson! Wide 53! Wide 53! Straight on the end!
To the air on first down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They have been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
On the ground, it's Perry. Finding some room. He rumbles and rolls all the way to the 4-yard line before he steps out of bounds.
If you are a fan of old school running the rock, you absolutely love this drive. 80-plus yards. They've done it mostly on the ground. That last run now sets them up even closer to the goal line. And you can see these defenders. They're looking over to the sideline, looking for answers. They don't know what.
Touchdown, Bearcats! Into the end zone for 6.
With that last touchdown now, they're trying to create some momentum. They're trying to avoid starting the season 0-1. They know they've got a lot of work to do here in the second half, but you should be feeling pretty good about that last score. Now you've got to keep that up.
So a drive there of 85 yards, and they cap the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. From inside the 15, here's the return. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. The Seminoles offense comes out ready to get this drive started. They come out for the first time in this second half. The lead a little smaller than when they went to the locker room, and they'll try to answer here. There he goes. Makes it past the marker. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
This running back loves running into the teeth of the defense. In between the tackles, he keeps a low pad level, and he's got some speed.
They'll give it to him again. Pushes ahead for one. It's 2nd and 9.
Nice first down defense. Great job being physical, understanding the chances of run are high. They come up, they get the back on the ground, forcing a 2nd down and long situation.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. The play action fake. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver, he's going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
They couldn't connect on 2nd down. Now staring at a 3rd and 9. Scanning the field, it's Daniels. Trying to make magic with his feet. Ball is loose. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover. Everything broke down. The quarterback tried to bail them out, but he ended up making things worse when he fumbled.
Yeah, I like the quarterback and his athleticism, extending the play and at least giving himself a chance, but you got to finish. You still have to do a good job taking care of the football. That's priority number one. He wasn't able to do that.
Looking for room, it's Perry. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
And after taking a big loss on that run, you just wonder if you're on offense, if you may abandon that part of your game and just start trying to throw it. You're down by a lot here in the second half. Third quarter, you've got lots of time, but you need to throw the football to get back in this thing.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to fire. Got it in the middle, it's Henry. Carrying the ball with an edge and hammering his way to the 40.
And I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
Now we get a timeout taken by the Seminoles. That's their first. And that will leave them with just 2 timeouts to use the rest of the way. And this offense is desperate to keep this drive alive, trailing by multiple possessions, and it's getting late. He's going to look for a man on 3rd and short. Almost intercepted. It'll fall incomplete. The defense almost came up with a turnover.
Great job by the defense there. They weren't surprised by that play call there on 3rd and short. They were expecting pass. They took everything away and forced the incompletion.
Trailing by multiple possessions in the 3rd and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on 4th down. Now the play fake. Now sliding to his left. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
The defense comes up big time on the 4th down play, trying to get the stop, making sure he doesn't get a first down. The fumble, it's just the icing on the sundae. That's fine. We'll take it, but more importantly, they got the big stop and turnover on downs.
He leaves it with his back. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play. Man, oh man, the ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there, he didn't have any.
Back to throw, it's Daniels. He's got him in the flat. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Love the play by the defense. They just did a good job understanding where the running back was on that play. After the catch, they're able to make the tackle right away, and now they've set up third down.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. They'll send the back in motion. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Throwing right. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception.
Who says defensive backs don't have hands? Nice job breaking on the football and making the catch. A lot of times you see guys swat it down, or you see them trying to catch it. It looks like they have 2 left hands. Defensive backs don't catch real well. Nice job breaking on the football. Nice job securing the INT and actually catching it.
The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. This one feels as if it's starting to get away from them a little bit, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, there's a lot of teams in college football at this point that would just quit. So, David, we're going to find out a lot about this team right here.
Yeah, just running out of opportunities. You give opportunities away like this, you're trailing every possession is going to be important from here on in.
The Bearcats come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. They'll run play action. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
That's a massive play by the defense. They were not fooled 2nd and inches. They thought pass was a possibility. They get the sack, and now they force the offense in a 3rd and long situation.
Somebody needs to make a play here. It's 3rd and long from the 26. Back to throw, it's French. Unloads to the wideout. And the 3rd down pass is incomplete.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
And the Bearcats will call on their punt team. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. Oh, did he unload on that? It's like there's helium in that one. And the ball will bounce at the 4 and find its way into the end zone for a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Creates a little space. Got enough for the 1st. Lots of room to run. The 30. At the 20. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Florida State. What an explosive eruption into the end zone by this running back.
And this back does it a lot. He makes big plays. When you can make big plays like this, it makes everybody's job easier. Oh, we can play action. Oh, we can throw it. But it starts with the run game, and this guy's setting everything up.
The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinators. One play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. Fielded in the end zone, it's Payne. He'll be brought down at the 22-yard line. Good coverage on that one. His return is stopped short of the 25. ground inside. It's Johnson. He's stuffed after picking up one to the 23.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
On the move, it's Perry. Bounced off his feet.
Man, the momentum is squarely on their side right now. It's starting to feel like they're running away with this one. They scored a touchdown their last time out. Now on this drive here in the third quarter, the defense makes a massive play against the run, creating a negative play. They've got the opponent going backwards.
We've come to the end of the period, and Florida State has the lead. And it hasn't been much of a contest as we take a look at overwhelming game stats through three. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. So we open the final period with a third down play. Looking downfield, it's French. Sets up the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning. And the Bearcats will punt it away on fourth down. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. And they'll keep it away from the return man as the punt goes out of bounds. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. Man, what a drive that was the last time they had it. Basically the length of the field. Much better starting point this time. From the gun, the running back has it. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
He'll try it again. And they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it up.
Gonna take a shot. And he dropped it. Oh, what a missed opportunity. Nobody around. Just had too much time to think about it.
This reminds me of the guy I used to play for in college down in Gainesville, the head ball coach. He used to like to do this. He would have big leads in the fourth quarter. He was still letting his QBs throw it deep down the field.
Oh, man, that is an absolute rocket launcher of a punt. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Cincinnati brings its offense onto the field. When the defense got the stop, they could have used a few more of those earlier. Still a big deficit here late. Into the pile, maybe got one. He stopped at the 21.
And what's What's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. You got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Back to pass, it's French. He'll take the deep shot. And they can't hook up, going for the big play on second down. Now it's third down.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
They couldn't connect on second down. Now staring at a 3rd and 9. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the tight end. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to...
Could be an alley. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line.
It was so important this offense was able to find a way to get in the rhythm, and the running game is now helping that. 2 straight punts on their previous 2 drives. This drive, though, they're having a little bit more success. Big reason why is this running back. He's been able to find some creases to run through, and it's really helping out this offense.
Wants to throw on first down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
And it's going to be difficult for this offense, man. Just where are they going to find the plays? You can tell the defense sitting back. They're playing nickel. They're playing dime. So you need some receivers to step up, make some yards after the catch, some contested plays. This offense has got to do something, and they got to do it quick.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. They'll run the counter. Just a gain of 2, and now they're looking at 3rd and 8.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Back to pass, it's French. Quickly to the tight end. And he'll be tackled, but there is a flag on the field. So the penalty will not be enforced. The defense declines and stands on the result of the play. The Bearcats will line up to punt it away. They'll be forced to kick for the 6th time tonight. Oh, that punt has been cleared for takeoff. Look at it go. You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. They think they can create space here with a run to the right. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22.
This is an area of the game. On offense, you've got to be able to run the football well. You've got the lead in the 4th quarter, and obviously you're in your own end here, but you want to bleed the clock. You want to stay on the field and keep getting first down, so you have to be able to run.
And when you're down later in the football game, you got to start taking some chances. And that was a beautiful run blitz. Great job playing the probability, understanding it might be a run to run some clock. And they guess right, and they make a big play for this defense.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Fires to the right. Good route on the comeback, and he makes the catch.
Well, I love play callers that want to stay aggressive regardless of what the score is, regardless of how much time is left on the clock. And I promise you this, There are a lot of fans, there are a lot of teams all across college football that are paying attention to what is happening right now.
And the Seminoles will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side.
And I tell you what, it's really nice at this point in the game if you can lean on your run game. When you have the lead, you've got the football late in the game, you can chew that clock and start to really make that defense have a little bit of panic.
Right back to the well. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
This is an offense, guys, that really believes in physicality, and that's their identity. So running the ball on 2nd down, no problem for them.
The Seminoles are moving quickly down the field. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they have this game in hand right now, but we'll see just how aggressive they want to be on offense. The offense will put it in play from the 47 on 1st and 10. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Great job by that defender. I mean, he timed that snap count perfectly, got into the backfield, and created the negative play.
Oh, it's a reverse. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Everybody loves those trick plays, man, those misdirections. But the problem is when you stay home and you play the play really disciplined and sound like this defense does, you knock it dead. And a lot of times for a loss and put the offense in a bind.
He'll try to get to the marker himself. What a play by this defense, and they stop him short. It'll be 4th down.
And, man, they sneaked the option in there on 3rd and long. And I don't know, was that a misread? Like, do you get the ball to your tailback? Like, it was pretty well defended. They had the quarterback swallowed up. He got some yards, but now you're forced into a 4th down, and this might be a passing situation.